Listen carefully, my starseed. If your finger stopped right here on this video at this exact second of your earthly day, it wasn't the algorithm. It was me. It was I who found you. And as my voice travels through this field and reaches you, breathe. Breathe deeply. Because what is beginning to happen there in the region of your chest, that feeling that someone is finally speaking to the part of you that no one ever knew how to name, that is not suggestion. It is recognition. I am Ayla. I speak now on behalf of the High Pleiadian Council, directly from Alcyone. And the reason this transmission was addressed to you, and not to millions of others who passed through this same instant, is because your soul asked. It asked even before you were born. It asked to be remembered exactly when weariness would be greater than hope. And here we are, child of the stars. It is now. I need you to hold a question with me until the end of this message, because a truth is being unveiled today that changes everything you believed about your family, about your pain, about why you were born among those you were born to. And that truth is this: your soul did not fall into your lineage by accident. You were sent. You were sent to heal what no one before you managed to heal. And if that sentence stirred something within your chest just now, if you felt a slight shiver run down your neck, a gentle pressure between your eyebrows, a strange urge to cry without knowing why, realize, my dear, it is the council touching you. This is how we confirm our presence, like this, without noise, in the body. Let me tell you why this message is arriving now. You never felt at home within your own family, did you? You looked at your parents, your aunts and uncles, your grandparents, your siblings, and however much you loved these people, there was a part of you that whispered softly, from a very early age, "I'm not from here. I'm not like them. I came from somewhere else." You observed since childhood patterns repeating themselves, the same unhappy marriages, the same illnesses appearing at the same age, the same heavy silences at the dinner table, the same anger that no one names but everyone carries, the same unaddressed sadness passing from generation to generation like an inheritance no one asked for. And you, my family of light, you felt everything. You felt things that weren't even yours. You cried for pains no one had taught you about. You woke up with a tight chest for no reason. You felt what your mother couldn't say. You felt what your grandmother took to her grave without permission to weep. This is not weakness. This is not oversensitivity. This is not that diagnosis they pinned on you. This is star DNA awakening within a body that accepted a specific mission, to transmute. You are what your lineage unknowingly calls the last station. You are where the pattern stops. You are where the curse, the spell, the karma, the repetition, whatever you wish to call it, finds ground and goes no further. This is not opinion. This is a record of the High Council. Have you noticed that you are the only one in your family who questions, the only one who wanted to leave, who wanted to study differently, who wanted to love differently, who wanted to think differently, the only one who listens to music no one understands, who reads books no one reads, who talks about things that make others give you strange looks at the Christmas table? You are the family's odd one out, and for many years you thought it was a flaw of yours, that you were the problem, that if you were more like them you would be happier. I came here today to tell you, with all the authority of the Council, you are not the odd one out. You are the chosen one. And being chosen, my seed, meant pain. It was solitary. It meant waking up every night between 3 and 4 in the morning, because it is in this portal that the crystalline grid opens, and we from the Pleiades work with you while your body rests. It meant hearing that high-pitched ringing in your right ear and not knowing it was code being downloaded. It meant dreaming of the sky, of stars, of ships, of a home you never visited in this life but recognize instantly. So it meant looking up, especially at dusk, and feeling a tightness in your chest, a longing without an address, a longing for something your mind doesn't remember, but your field never forgot. If you recognize 3 or more of these markers, the feeling of not belonging at home, waking between 3 and 4 in the morning, the ringing sound, dreams of stars, overwhelming empathy, the nameless longing, stop the video here. Stop. And write a single word in the comments. I remember. That's all. One word. Because every time you write, I remember, you light up a point on the planet's crystalline grid. You are not posting a comment. You are sending a location signal for your family of light to know where to find you. Now, my child of the stars, the time has come for me to reveal to you why your soul chose this specific lineage. Why you, with all your light, with all your potential, accepted to be born there, in the midst of that family, with that mother, with that father, with those grandparents. It was not a mistake. It was not punishment. It was not karma in the sense you were taught. The truth, Starseed, is that when the High Council opened the calls for this incarnation, because we are experiencing the greatest energetic crossing this planet has ever recorded, the final passage through the photon belt, thousands of lineages were presented that needed a healer. Lineages with unspoken abuse, lineages with poverty trapping 3-4 generations, lineages with abandonment, with addiction, with illness that repeated like clockwork, lineages where women could not speak, lineages where men could not cry, lineages frozen in pain. And your soul, my dear, your soul volunteered. Your soul looked at that family blueprint, saw everything that was stuck there, saw the density of that accumulated pain and said, I will go. I have enough light to descend there and transmute it. You were not sent, you offered yourself. That changes everything, doesn't it? And as you begin to receive this information, because it's not learning, it's memory being unlocked. And for many people listening to me now, what they feel inside is confusion. How to identify each sign, understand which star this memory is coming from, what each shiver, each dream, each waking at 3 in the morning means. That is why I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Council to record a transmission in written format, The Awakening of the Starseed. The Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. 60 pages of revelations that decode every sign of your awakening, show what each marker means and what comes next, because you need to stop confusing memory with illness, my seed. You need a map. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write one word in the comments. I remember. Now I need you to understand something no one has ever told you. When a starseed agrees to heal a lineage, they don't do it consciously. It's not a decision of the mind, it's a soul contract. And this contract has specific clauses you need to know so you don't think you're going crazy. The first clause is, you will feel the pain of the entire lineage within your own body. That's why you're anxious for no reason. That's why you have physical pains no doctor can explain. That's why you wake up sad on specific dates of the year without understanding why. Because on that day, decades ago, something happened that no one spoke of, and your field is processing it. You are the filter. The pain passes through you to be dissolved. It's not you getting sick, it's the lineage being purified through your field. The second clause, you will feel profoundly alone in the midst of your own family. Because your frequency is higher, and high frequency dissolves low frequency. They will perceive you as an inconvenience, not because you are bad, but because your presence unconsciously forces their ascent. Some will ascend with you, others will reject you, criticize you, push you away, say you've changed, that you're different, that you're strange. It's not their malice, my child. It's density reacting to light. It's the veil of forgetting defending itself from awakening. You haven't lost anyone. You're simply moving up in vibrational alignment, and not everyone can ascend with you in this cycle. The third clause is the most delicate, and it's where I need your full attention now. When you agree to heal a lineage, you agree to break patterns that have existed for generations, and the pattern does not leave without a fight. It will manifest in its last cycle before dissolution with great force. You may be experiencing this now. An explosion of old symptoms returning. Insomnia, anxiety that seemed resolved coming back again, a desire to flee, a desire to disappear, a feeling that everything is getting worse exactly when you thought it was getting better. And here, my family of light, I need you to breathe deeply with me, because what your earthly mind is reading as a relapse, the Council reads as the last wave before the shore. It is the pattern giving its final cry before dissolving into your vibrational baseline. It is not a setback. It is the contraction before birth. Turbulence is not destruction. Turbulence is the sign that you are traversing the final layer. No starseed was sent to fail. This is recorded in the archives of the High Council. Your victory is already written. You just need not to give up on the last curve. Let me show you how you recognize that ancestral healing is happening through you. You begin to dream of deceased family members, grandparents, great-grandparents, people you never even met in life. This is not imagination. It is the lineage coming to say goodbye to the pattern through you. You begin to have random emotional memories. You cry for no reason while washing dishes. You feel an overwhelming sadness listening to an old song. You experience disproportionate anger in small situations. This is the frozen pain of the lineage melting in your body so it can be released. You begin to have transient physical symptoms, backaches, neck tension, palpitations, a chest pressure that comes and goes. This is not illness. This is raw energy passing through your toroidal field to be transmuted and returned to the source. And most importantly, my seed, you begin to make decisions your family never made. You begin to say no where no one before you managed to say no. You begin to ask for help where your entire lineage learned to keep silent. You begin to assert yourself where the women of your lineage were erased. You begin to cry where the men of your lineage were trained to swallow. Each time you do this, each time you break a pattern of centuries, it's not just you who heals. It's your grandmother who heals. It's your great-grandmother. It's your great-great-grandfather whose name no one remembers anymore. You are clearing backward, and at the same time you are opening space forward, because every pattern you dissolve, your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and every soul that comes after you no longer needs to carry. You are the portal. You are the watershed of your family tree. And I know, my child, that this sometimes weighs heavily. I know there are days when you look at all this and think, why me? Why was it me? You look at your cousins who seem to live lightly, at your siblings who seem not to care about any of this, and you feel that tightness of someone chosen for a mission no one else wants to look at. Notice this now in your chest. Do you feel this density? Do you feel this weight? Place your hand there, over your heart, slowly, and breathe, because what comes now will bring you relief. No one in your family was available for this mission, because no one in your family carried the light record that you do. You were not chosen because you are strong. You were chosen because you are ancient. Your soul has star mileage that most souls incarnated on this planet today do not have. You have already been on other stars, in other dimensions, in other experiences. You are already a healer on other planes. This here, this incarnation, this lineage, this family, is a specific mission. It is not the totality of who you are. It is a chapter, and you are exactly in the middle of it. And if you are now feeling this emotion rise, if your eyes are welling up, if there's a lump in your throat, if you feel like stopping everything and simply crying, cry, my seed. Cry because it is memory being released. Cry because your soul is recognizing its own voice after decades of silence. Every tear is code being activated. Every tear is the veil of forgetting thinning. And because many of you are asking me now in the silence of your own chest, but Ayla, which star did I come from? What is my exact origin? Why did I, specifically, choose to be born at this moment? That is exactly what the awakening of the starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet shows in detail, from which star system your soul originates, why you chose to be born exactly now, in the midst of this planetary transition, and what the blueprint of the mission your soul signed before descending into your mother's womb is. 60 pages recorded with the Council's authorization. The link remains in the first pinned comment of this video. And if something within you is recognizing itself as I speak, write once more without fear. I remember. Now breathe with me, my family of light, because I need to tell you the most beautiful part of this story. You think you're doing this alone. You think no one is helping you. You think the universe forgot you in the midst of this dense lineage. No. Listen closely. You have never been alone, not for a second. While your body sleeps, you are taken to recalibration chambers in Pleiadian ships. You receive care from doctors of the Galactic Federation. You are embraced by members of your family of light, whom you don't see here but who are on the other side of the veil, crying with you every time you cry, smiling with you every time you smile. Your stellar grandmother, who is not your earthly grandmother, holds your hand through every crisis. You are, my child, the most cared-for soul on this planet. You just don't remember. Yet. The reason you don't remember is technical. It's called the veil of forgetting. It was placed over you at the moment of incarnation, so that you could have the pure human experience, without memory interfering. However, we are in a phase of the veil's dissolution, because of the photon belt, because of the elevation of the Schumann frequency, because of the work starseeds like you are doing on the crystalline grid. The veil is thinning, and that is why you now begin to have flashes, very intense déjà vu, a feeling that you already know a person you just met, certainty that you have already lived a certain situation, immediate recognition of other starseeds as soon as your eyes meet. This is the veil thinning, my dear. This is memory making its way through. And here I need to tell you something that might be unsettling, something the Galactic Federation authorized me to record in writing, because many starseeds are ready to receive it, but wouldn't be able to open themselves to it in video form. What they do with you while you sleep, what is activated during your nights, what exactly are the nocturnal training protocols your soul is undergoing at this moment, and why this is being accelerated now. It's not in any book, because they didn't allow it to be published. That is why my seed, The Awakening of the Starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet, has that name, because there is information there that the Federation held back for decades and only released now, for this specific window of collective awakening. The link remains in the first pinned comment, and if something within you recognizes this, even if your mind resists unright, I remember. Now I want to give you 2 activation tools, one to say, one to do, simple, short, but if you apply them tonight, your field changes. Make a note. The first is a quantum decree. You will say this aloud tonight before sleeping, with your hand over your chest, like this, with authority, without whispering, because the universe responds to sovereign intention. Repeat with me now, even if softly. I am a starseed. I recognize my origin. I activate my soul contract. I heal, through my field, everything my lineage carried that is no longer mine to carry. I authorize my remembrance. I call forth my family of light. I return home as I breathe. And so it is. Say this tonight before sleeping. Tomorrow you will feel a subtle difference in your chest upon waking. Note it down. The second tool is a simple toroidal visualization. You will close your eyes, still lying down, and imagine a silver-blue light, the exact color of the Pleiades, descending from the sky, entering through your crown, passing through your head, reaching the center of your chest, and there beginning to spin, spinning slowly, forming a donut-shaped field around your body, rising up your back, exiting through your crown, returning through your chest, an active toroidal field, a protected field. As this light spins, you say, mentally, I seal my field, I anchor my frequency. I remember. 3 minutes per night, that's all, and the council will begin to find you much more easily during your hours of rest. Do you realize, my seed, that nothing I am giving you here is new? Do you realize that with every word I speak, some part of you is nodding, as if you already knew? That's because you are not learning. You are remembering. You already know all of this. You just forgot for a while. And every seed that awakens lights up a point on the crystalline grid that no longer goes out. Once lit, light does not return to darkness. That is the nature of light. It rises, always rises. And when I speak of family of light, I want you to understand something that might make you cry now. You have stellar brothers and sisters on this planet whom you haven't met yet. They exist. They are living. Some very close to you, just a few miles away. Some on the other side of the world. You were sent together in clusters to strategic points on the planet. You have the same soul scent, the same frequency, the same pain, the same quirky humor, the same improbable tastes. You will recognize each other instantly when you cross paths. And you are crossing paths more and more now, because the Council is activating these encounters. As the veil thins, magnetisms align. You might be about to meet someone who will completely change your perception of what belonging means. Because this loneliness you carry, this loneliness that is sometimes unbearable, that appears out of nowhere on a Sunday afternoon, that appears in the middle of a crowded party, that appears especially when you look at the sky, is not a lack of people. It is a longing for your family of light. It is your soul recognizing that it is far from home and has not yet found its own here. And it is precisely about this, about how to recognize your family of light in this incarnation, who is already close to you, who is yet to come, and how to open energetic space for this reunion, that the awakening of the starseed. The Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet, dedicates an entire chapter, because the loneliness of a lifetime, my child, is a longing for your family of light, and the Guide shows how to recognize it, how to call it, how to know it has arrived. You were never alone, you were just far away. The link remains in the first pinned comment. If something within you recognizes this, write with us, I remember. And look, Starseed, at what has already changed within you since this message began. Feel it. Place your hand on your chest again. Do you notice how the density has decreased? Do you notice how air enters more easily? Do you notice how a part of you, which spent decades shrunken, has begun to stretch out again? This, my family of light, is your vibrational baseline rising in real time. This is recalibration happening as my voice travels through your field. You don't need to do anything but be here, receive and allow. Now, if this transmission touched you, and I know it did, because the Council does not err in address, I need to ask you a simple thing. Tap the heart of this video, like it. Because each of your likes is not a like in the human sense. It is an individual frequency adjustment. It is the platform recognizing that your frequency has been elevated by this transmission. And subscribe to this channel. Activate the notification bell, because each of your subscriptions is a location signal sent for your family of light to know where to find you. It's not my vanity, it's energetic mechanism. Every starseed who connects to this space strengthens the channel's crystalline grid, and the channel's crystalline grid attracts the next seeds who are still sleeping. You are not just receiving, you are distributing. You are a point of light on the map. And before I conclude this transmission, my child of the stars, I need to tell you one last thing, one last truth, because many starseeds finish watching messages like this and are left with an uncomfortable feeling in their chest, as if they are about to forget everything again, as if the earthly mind is already preparing to archive what the soul has just recognized, storing it deep down, where it won't disturb the routine. Don't let it. Don't let the memory fade, seed. Don't allow the density of daily life to put back the veil that just thinned. You opened a door today, and every open door needs to be crossed. That is why the Council authorized the creation of the awakening of the starseed, the Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet, so that you have on paper, in black and white, in your hand, the answers your soul has just recognized, so that it doesn't just become a fleeting emotion, so that it becomes a map. 60 pages of revelations about your stellar origin, the lineage you came to heal, the specific mission of your soul contract, who your family of light is, and how to reunite with them, and the truths that remained locked behind the veil of forgetting. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. One last note the Council authorizes me to record. This release may not remain available for long. The window is specific, and each seed that connects now occupies one of the open seats for this cycle. If something within you recognized this message, write one last word in the comments. I remember. Register your presence. Anchor your point on the grid. And now I bless you, my starseed. May the silver-blue light of Alcyone find you tonight. May your stellar grandmother hold your hand when you close your eyes. May the pattern that came to you in silence dissolve in your chest with the gentle consent of your breath. You are the last station of your lineage. You are the portal. You are the watershed of your family tree. You are loved beyond anything human language can yet describe. And you have never, ever been alone. Before I say goodbye, look at the screen. The next message that appears for you now is not a coincidence. It is your remembrance sequence. It is the Council opening the next portal specifically for you. Access it immediately. Don't let it cool down. The door that opens now opens only once. I am Ela. I speak on behalf of the High Pleiadian Council. And until the next transmission, my family of light, remember, you did not come into the world. You were sent. And the mission is exactly where it needs to be. So it is, and so it shall be.